Your antivirus is supposed to protect you. But what if I told you that antivirus is now a weapon? Right now, hackers are using Windows Defender to break in, and two of the three exploits making this possible have no fix. None. Zero. Not even a tracking number. So here's what happened. In early April 2026, a hacker dropped a bombshell on GitHub. They go by the name Chaotic Eclipse. GitHub, by the way, is basically the world's biggest code library. Developers share projects there, and this person shared something you're not supposed to share. A working exploit, meaning a ready-to-use attack tool, targeting Windows Defender, the thing that's supposed to be your shield. It just became the sword, and Chaotic Eclipse wasn't subtle about it. They basically told Microsoft, I warned you. And I'm doing it again. Then they thanked Microsoft's security team for, quote, making this possible, which is the most savage thank you note in cybersecurity history. But here's the thing. This wasn't just one vulnerability. There are three. They've got code names like a bad action movie trilogy. Blue Hammer, Red Sun, and Undefend. Let me walk you through each one because they're all terrifying in different ways. Blue Hammer was the first one dropped. It targets something called the Threat Remediation Engine. That's the part of Defender that quarantines bad files. Think of it like a security guard grabbing a suspicious package and throwing it in the dumpster. Except hackers figured out how to secretly swap the dumpster's location to the bank vault. So the guard thinks they're tossing trash, but they're actually hand-delivering the hacker's tools into the most protected part of your system. And it worked on fully updated Windows 11. Security researchers at Cydras confirmed it. One of their analysts described it as a design flaw, not a simple bug. 5 legitimate Windows features chained together in a way nobody anticipated. Microsoft did eventually patch this one on April 14th, 11 days after the exploit went public. 11 days where anyone could download the attack code and use it. And even after the patch, there's a problem. The detection signature Microsoft shipped only catches the original version. A basic recompile, basically just rebuilding the code slightly, and it slips right past. Now here's where it gets really scary. 2 days after Microsoft patched Blue Hammer, Chaotic Eclipse came back. April 16th, 2 more exploits, Red Sun and Undefend, and these are still unpatched as of right now. No fix, no CVE number, which is the official tracking ID the security industry uses. Nothing. Red Sun is another privilege escalation attack. Privilege escalation means going from a regular user to having God mode access on the computer. Imagine you're a hotel guest, but you trick the concierge into handing you the master key to every room. That's what Red Sun does. It abuses Defender's cloud file restoration feature. Basically, it tricks Defender into overwriting a critical system file with the hacker's code. Then it triggers that code to run with the highest possible permissions. Researchers say it works with near 100% reliability on fully patched systems, so your computer can be completely up to date. Doesn't matter. Red Sun still works. Every time. The scary part, though, Undefend might be even worse. It doesn't break into your system. It blinds your security. Undefend targets Defender's update pipeline. That's the system that downloads new virus definitions so Defender can recognize the latest threats. Think of it like your security camera's firmware updates. Undefend quietly blocks those updates. Your security camera still has the little red light on. The monitoring dashboard still shows a green checkmark saying everything's fine, but the lens is covered. Nothing is being recorded. New malware walks right in and Defender doesn't even flinch. It has a passive mode that silently freezes your definitions, and an aggressive mode that can shut down the entire engine. The worst part is your IT department's console still says healthy. Green lights everywhere. Meanwhile, your system is wide open, and then it gets worse. Because hackers aren't using these one at a time, security firm Huntress documented a real attack chain on April 17th. Here's how it goes. First, attackers got in through stolen VPN credentials. VPN is basically the secure tunnel employees use to connect to work remotely. Once inside, they ran basic commands to map out the network. This wasn't automated malware. This was a human sitting at a keyboard, poking around like a burglar checking which rooms have valuables. Then they deployed Undefend. Defender goes blind. Green checkmark still showing. Next, Red Sun. Now they've got full system access. God mode. From there, they installed backdoors, which are hidden entrances to come back whenever they want. They harvested passwords. They moved through the network from machine to machine, and Defender couldn't see any of it because its definitions were frozen in time. One researcher described it perfectly. First you blind the guard dog, then you walk through the front door with the admin keys. Congratulations, your billion-dollar enterprise network is now a free co-working space for hackers. Turns out this situation also exposed something ugly about how the security industry works. Chaotic Eclipse clearly had a beef with Microsoft's security response team, called MSRC. The exact details aren't fully public, but here's what we know. Microsoft apparently told the researcher they needed a video demonstration for their submission. Then later, Microsoft said video demos aren't actually required. So which is it? One industry expert heard from researchers who gave up. They just don't bother reporting Microsoft bugs anymore. The process is too painful. Meanwhile, Microsoft issued a very corporate statement about their customer commitment to investigate reported security issues, which is PR speak for we'll get to it eventually. And look, this is a real problem. If researchers feel ignored, they stop reporting privately. They go public. And when they go public, everyone gets the exploit at the same time, hackers included. Forbes reported this could affect roughly 1 billion Windows users. 1 billion. That's not a typo. So what do you actually do right now? First, check if your Blue Hammer patch is installed. Go to Windows Security, then Settings, then About. Look for the anti-malware platform version. Make sure it was updated after April 14th. Second, and this is crucial, manually check when your Defender definitions were last updated. Go to Virus and Threat Protection, then Protection Updates. If it hasn't updated in more than a day, you might already be hit by Undefend. Third, install a backup scanner, something like Malwarebytes running alongside Defender. Because right now, Defender alone is compromised as a single layer of protection. Think of it like having a second lock on your door when you're not sure the first one works. And fourth, just run Windows Update right now. Don't put it off. Don't say you'll do it tomorrow. Anyway, the bigger picture here is pretty unsettling. The next scheduled Patch Tuesday isn't until May 13th. That's roughly 4 weeks away. 4 weeks with 2 unpatched 0 days. Those are attacks with no fix, and they're actively being used in the wild. Microsoft could release an emergency patch sooner, but they haven't announced one. And every day that passes, more attackers add these techniques to their playbooks. One analyst at Rapid7 pointed out that vulnerability volume is surging partly because of AI. AI is getting better at finding bugs, which means we should expect even more of these situations going forward. So maybe don't rely on a single antivirus to save you, especially when that antivirus is the one being used against you. Oh, and April's Patch Tuesday fixed 167 vulnerabilities total, second biggest in Microsoft's history. Sleep well tonight.